Moonglum is trying to fight him off with two swords, like this. Mostly like this, my loves. Too much about it, my loves. Sorry, the lighting in here makes me look like I'm necrotic or something, but don't worry, I'm quite all right, apart from my back. No. Hashtag. Something like that. A kingdom was ruled by, again, a queen. A queen motherfucker. No, Yishana, she's called. Yishana. Myrn. Myyrrhn. Fuck that. Anyway, am I getting... I was getting a nosebleed then. These kind of names can give me a nosebleed occasionally. Hello there, my loves. It's me, it's your Uncle Jimmy. And today I'm going to be doing this review standing up. Now this is because I've thrown my back out a bit. It's a lot better standing up. So, and yesterday I spent the day writing. I was writing my the sequel to Brown Road Blues. So I was doing some of that. I sat down all day, and by the end of the day I was more or less crippled. Now, I used to do this all the time. I'd work all day and it was all fine, but I can do this no longer, and this could be to do with my bed, it could be just the failing body that I'm currently inhabiting, my loves. But anyway, let's get on with the review. Today we are reviewing this little number. Is Michael Moorcock's The Weird of the White Wolf, my loves, the third part in the series of 6 books that we are all reading together. Tim at Secret Fire Books and Chris at Liminal Spaces. They did their review or summing up of the book a long time ago, last month or so, but I was moving house and I was reading another book, so I couldn't do much about it, my Sorry, the lighting in here makes me look like I'm necrotic or something, but don't worry, I'm quite all right, apart from my back. Anyway, let's get on with it. Yes, increasingly I'm beginning to resemble, at least bodily, dear Elric, because he is an ailing young man, isn't he? Despite the fact that he is, of course, an albino. My hair is, of course, becoming white as we speak. But anyway, let's get to it. Once again, this book is in 3 parts. We have 3 separate stories to deal with. Now, I would say I was slightly disappointed that the first story is very short. This one here, so it's, if we take that's the other 2 stories there. The first story is just this thin little bit at the beginning, and it has a prologue, The Dream of Earl Orbeck, which has nothing to do with the story that we're going to be talking about. But it was actually very, very cool. I should talk about that first. No, yes, I'm completely wrong. The bit I've just shown you is the prologue. So before we get to Elric at all, we are dealing with a very different scenario. And it does have some bearing on the later story, or perhaps the last story, because we are further back in time, I believe. It's the burgeoning of the young kingdoms of men that will eventually supersede the Melnibonean race, motherfucker! Dark deeds, my loves. Yeah, so this the prologue. So it's an entirely separate story, really. We're dealing with this chap called Orbeck of Malador. What a wonderful name. So I was quite happy to begin with such a wonderful name, Malador. Moorcock certainly has a way with his names. Some of them I quite like. They trip off the tongue. Melnibonean and Melnibone. They're quite nice words to say once you've mastered them. Some of them are unpronounceable, of course, but to begin with, Malador, wonderful stuff. So Malador appears to be a champion of sorts of one of these young kingdoms. His queen he's helped her get loads of different realms together, and by all accounts, he's her lover as well. But she says, I've got one more little tiny task for you. There's this mysterious castle on the edge of my kingdom. Take it for me, just by yourself. Now, this castle, this fortress, is a mighty structure, but it's right on the edge of the known world. There isn't a drop at the edge of the world, but merely chaos, a roiling, seething mass of mist and colour, forms coming in and out of existence all the time. So it's interesting. The world of man, it's called that, I think. It's about men, my loves, mostly, although there is the queen at the beginning. They are forming their own world into existence. It isn't there already. They're having to claw it back. And so by going into this fortress and having mastery over it, there is the hope that this will be incorporated into the Queen's kingdom. What she doesn't realise is that by him taking over this place, there's the potential to claw back even more land by furnishing it out of this roiling mist of chaos. Now, I loved the beginning of this. I loved Elric's character, but it was nice to explore another character who had quite a steely determination about him. He goes into this place and all sorts of strange things start happening to him. It's basically playing on the fear. This has become a well-recognised trope these days, but I'm sure back then it was quite interesting and new. But so he's being plagued by demons and things, but it's born of his own imagination. But anyway, he gets through various parts of this and then encounters a very strange beast going by the name of a golem. So it's a golem and appears to be created, human-made. It's almost like a part machine, perhaps, but had been made by sorcerous means. The battle between this Orbeck of Malador and the golem takes place in a setting that has lots of... There are some weapons on the walls and ornamental ones. There's various furniture, and I thought it was quite a nice battle in this setting, but otherwise deserted. There's no one else around. Eventually, he bests this golem by, spoiler, showing him its own reflection. So we have lots of recognisable tropes here, but very, very enjoyable. Anyway, eventually he battles up to the very top of the tower, sees the roiling mists of chaos before him, and the queen of this particular fortress, I'm calling her a queen, I don't know if she's a queen, let's have a look here. Okay, she's called Myshella the Dark Lady. So she appears to be a very ancient sorceress, and she's waiting for men brave enough to get through the various defences of this fortress and then try to manipulate them into carving out more from the chaos. That's how it appears to me, or what I remember of it. But that was a wonderful way to begin the story. Okay, so the next segment, which I rushed ahead and was denigrating off the bat, is still quite a short segment. Bear with me. Yes, it is. So we've got the prologue. Look at this shambolicness. That's the prologue there. This is the next story, the next book. So this first segment is called The Dreaming City. And it's disappointing for me in that, so the spoilers throughout, my loves. I'm assuming you've already read this. If you haven't already, please start at the beginning and get through these various stories, because it's very well worth the effort. But anyway, the thing I was disappointed in is that The Dreaming City, this short story at the beginning, is about the downfall of the Dragon Isle, of Melnibonéan society in general. It's about the raising of this ancient culture at the hands of Elric. So Elric he wants to get his cousin back to marry her, Silmaril, and ideally he wants to defeat his cousin Yarkun, and also bring about the downfall of the entire island for whatever reason he has. Now, interestingly, at the beginning, he's enlisted the help of the young kingdom. Somehow he's managed to marshal a massive seafaring army composed of various kingdoms, all working in unison. They want to sack this dreaming city for the riches that it has, and also stop the ancient dominance of the Melnibonéans. But before this war takes place, Elric sets off on his own, using magical means to spirit him there in a ship very quickly. And he goes there. I'm assuming he's hoping to whisk Silmaril out of what will become a war zone. But in so doing, he encounters Yyrkoon. They almost have there's a bit of toing and froing. Shit goes down. Elric summons Ariok. Is it Ariok? Who is more or less the devil. And this is fucking awful. And manages to escape by the skin of his teeth. Bring on the army. Let's sack this place. The city is destroyed, my loves. It's quite interesting the way it happens, the way they get through the sea maze and that features in the first book. So in the first book, Elric is hell-bent on saving the city from destruction. This time he's aiding the young kingdoms to overthrow it. He finds Silmaril again, and Yyrkoon is there. Big spoiler here. Elric ends up killing both of the damn people, brother and sister, dead. And it's all at the hands of Stormbringer, his devilish sword. It couldn't wait to suck their souls out. So I was disappointed in that this massive, this wonderfully interesting culture of the Melnibonéans and how evil they are, the dastardly things they get up to, the slavery, the torture, the wanton, just revelry all the time, but more or less taking drugs and being fucked up. Pretty much 24/7, my love. Sorry, the back is spasming like a motherfucker. That all ends very quickly. And of course, it's all the guilt-ridden Elric comes out of this even more damned than he was before. Gutted, absolutely gutted that his potential wife has been slain. Never mind the thousands of other people that he's put to death. Including, of course, what was he called? Smealgan? Fuck you. Smealgan Baldhead of the Purple Towns. Now, we met him before, so a bald-headed chap that has been following Elric ever since he saved him from a group of brigand pirates in a parallel universe on a desolate island. They've been best buddies, but at the end, he saves himself and... poor buggered Baldhead gets buggered. Gets slain by all the dragons attacking from Melniboné. Anyway, there we are. That's the first book. The second book in the series, While the Gods Laugh, there's a quote there from Mervyn Peake, Shapes and Sounds. This story... Yes. I remember this now. I'm having to reacquaint myself with these things. I've only just read it, of course, but Anyway, I really enjoyed this second story. So Elric, it's about a year later, I suppose. Elric is very depressed. He's drinking alone in a shadowy tavern when he's approached by a young girl. What's she called? Okay, so she is known as the Wingless Woman of Myrrn. Myrrn? Myyrrhn. Fuck that. Anyway, I was getting a nosebleed then. These kind of names can give me a nosebleed occasionally. But anyway, this mysterious woman approaches Elric with a proposition. Let's go on a quest together. What is the quest for? Elric asks. It is to get a special book. The Dead Gods Book. So this book is a forbidden book. It contains wisdom beyond the minds of mortal men, and perhaps even gods, the lesser gods. This book was consigned to be burnt into the sun, my lads. It was blown on course to the sun through the solar system. The solar system is mentioned, but before it could meet its fiery demise, it was saved. So this book still exists, and it was held by a powerful necromancer who was the father of the wingless girl. Are you following me, my lads? So this is a quest to find this book. Elric is interested in finding it because he wants to find out if there is a one true God that's above all of the others. And he also wants to find peace as well. So he's interested in going on this mission. During this quest, they pick up another chap called Moonglum. Another interesting name. And he tags along. We don't know what his intent is, but he seems quite a happy-go-lucky kind of chap, very similar to Baldhead that we lost before. So it's another male companion for Elric. And of course, this wingless woman, Elric is diddling on the side. He is a randy fellow, despite his guilt-ridden heart. But the most interesting thing for me was they went into this cave. The dominion of not chaos, entropy. And so they explore this cave. They've got no torches or anything, pitch black in there. And I thought to myself, there's no way in hell you'll be able to find your way through there. But they do. It goes steadily downwards. And they come across quite a marvellous sight. It is a kind of silver beach with various ships, ruined ships, shipwrecked on its shore, and a sea that is coming in and out like a restless animal, I think it's described. Jet black. This isn't water as we know it, my loves, and it makes not a sound at all. So it's going in and out, quite sinister, quite sinister. So they managed to find a ship that's quite nice. It appears not to have been rotten. It's made of a very special wood and painted yellow and red and green, I believe. So they set sail. They make a sail out of Elric's cloak, and this boat, due to the mysterious nature of this subterranean ocean, flies by the seat of its pants. They are beset by various creatures, and I think winged monkeys or apes. But a really interesting thing, and a bit that I found quite scary, is that by now we know that Elric is intrinsically linked to Stormbringer, his sword. His sword keeps him alive because he's an ailing chap. He used to keep himself going with various drugs and herbal remedies, but now the sword supplies everything he needs. He tried to throw his sword away, I think in the first story, but the devil just floated. He was like, I'm not going anywhere, Elric. Take me back, you vile beast. And so he does, but he almost loses the sword in this dark, formless ocean, and it starts sinking, my loves. And there's nothing the Stormbringer can do about it because it's neutered by this environment. And that also means that Elric is himself ailing, so he's almost dead by the time they reach the other shore. But wonderful, wonderful adventure. I won't say what happens, whether they find this book or not, and whether Elric's happy at the end of it. I think you can probably guess poor Elric is a little bit miffed at the end of it. He always is. He's a glum fellow. Anyway, let's get down to the third book. So this is called The Singing Citadel. Another very interesting story that is far more psychedelic than any of the stories we've encountered so far. So The Singing Citadel is a mysterious citadel, a large castle that's appeared out of nowhere, again within the Young Kingdoms. What's this place called? Okay, so this is one of the kingdoms that aided Elric in the sacking of Melniboné, or Imre of the Dreaming City and all of that. However, across the known world, Elric's name is mud these days because everyone somehow knows that he escaped with his own life. Yes, because he only preserved the ship that he was on, so his fellow crew members absolutely hated his guts. So word has spread far and wide that Elric is a complete and utter bastard. So he ends up in a kingdom which ruled by, again, a queen. Queen Motherfucker. No, Yishana, she's called. Yishana. Interesting that so many of these places are ruled by women, by the way. Very strong women and quite interesting characters in their own right. But anyway, so her brother was one of the ones that was slain during the sacking of Imre, or whatever it is. So she doesn't really give a shit about that. But his cousin or brother isn't happy about it. No one likes Elric. Let's bear that in mind. So anyway, Elric decides to aid her because she has a problem, and her pet sorcerer, who is from Pang Tang, which is an island of sorcerous bastards, he's working for. He's also her lover. He has been able to do nothing about this mysterious citadel that has appeared on her land. A citadel that is spiriting away various people from the surrounding villages and even her own soldiers. This sorcerer is a cheap imitation of the Melnibonean sorcerers. He can't do anything about it either. He has an interesting name. He's called Feleb Kana. Anyway, Elric agrees to aid her. Interestingly, this citadel, when it appears, plays a very alluring form of music, and none can resist its charm. So they happen to be in the vicinity of this pop-up citadel when Yishana heeds the call and goes galloping after the damn citadel, despite the fact that Eric's telling her to come back because it's too damn dangerous. Now, there's a wonderful image of Yishana going hell for leather for this citadel, and Elric's looking at it, and he's looking at the citadel that's kind of got its 1 foot in one realm and one foot in the mortal realm, and so very strange things are happening. Various colours, lots of colours are present in this story. Very bright and psychedelic colours, mixtures of them. I loved the colour work in the story. But anyway, she's going hell for leather for one of these entrances, and suddenly it just splits, and he sees 12 different Yashanas, all on a horse, galloping for different entrances. So I really like that. He doesn't know which one she's gone for. But anyway, Stormbringer comes to the rescue and kind of brings some sanity to this place, and he's able to navigate this the interior of the citadel slightly better, well, a lot better than a mortal would. Inside, he encounters various strange planes of existence, and so one of them that sticks in my mind is a kind of spiraling ramp made of some kind of crystal, so it's see-through, so you can see a bottomless pit below him and a reflection of a bottomless or a topless void above him. So it's quite an interesting idea. I think for a lot of us that are perhaps gamers, for example, we've seen all kinds of weird and wonderful things in our lives, rendered in wonderful detail with modern graphics, of course. Back then in the 70s, or whenever the hell this was written, I've got no idea, these visual ideas were not there, were they? We had no grounding for them. But so it was quite easy for me to imagine this, but it was also described wonderfully well. Anyway, the citadel is being ruled by, or it's there because of, a jester type. What's he called? What's the matter with me? He's called Balo or Ballo, and so he's kind of a pet of the gods on the higher planes. They like him. They find him funny, until of course he started poking fun of them. And so they've kind of cast him out, I suppose. And he's thinking, well, I'll set up camp here on Earth, and now I will take over Earth. Won't it be funny? So it's interesting. Is Elric's kind of trying to make a deal with him, and it's not working. And who does he call on? As ever, he calls on his old mate, the devil, Ariok, and he comes and he turns him into a ball. He molds him into a ball and swallows him. Anyway, there we are. That's a spoiler. Now, on the way back, Elric has done his work. He's vanquished Ballo, or got rid of him, and the citadel has popped back off to Fuckland. And the only problem is the jealous wizard of Pantang. What was he called again? Feleb. What was he called? Yes, Feleb Kana. He's a jealous fellow. He just wants the good queen's loins all to himself. So he's trying to get rid of Elric. He has conjured a fucking an abomination, my loves. Half man, half butterfly. Now, the man segment of this butterfly is about 7 foot tall. The wings are 50 feet tall, my loves. And Elric is already spent. He's had enough of this. And so he's barely able to defeat this giant butterfly. Luckily, Moonglum comes to his rescue, and while Moonglum is trying to fight him off with 2 swords, like this, mostly like this, my loves, Elric has this wonderful idea. I'm going to call upon one of my friends, one of the gods of the insect world. And so, with Yashana beside him, helping him chant through the various runes, they call upon... Get ready for this one. It's a lizard god by the name of Hash Attack. So hash. No. Hashtag. Something like that. Anyway, I could barely pronounce it. Reading it off the page, my loves. Anyway, it conjures this interesting creature, a giant lizard that has scales of various precious metals and a multifaceted eye of gemstones. Lots of gemstones and precious metals. This lizard opens its mouth, flicks out a great big tongue, eats the giant butterfly, and then fucks off into its alternate dimension, my loves. That's one of the drawbacks of these, I would say, is the calling, what is it, ex machina stuff. Oh shit, we are in big trouble, Eric. Which god shall I call? God of the wizard, Hash Attack, get your ass down here, saves the day. Yeah, that does get a little tedious, but there's enough going on in these stories that always keep me interested, really imaginative stuff. And of course, Elric is such a complex character that you always want to come back for more. Where will it go from here? Well, this duplicitous wizard has escaped. I think Elric is hell-bent on killing him. So that's probably where we're going to be going. Pantang, motherfucker. Anyway, there we are. That wasn't a review, was it? It was kind of a summing up and telling you everything that happened and spoiling the whole damn thing for you. But hopefully there were some interesting morsels in there, here and there. It's unlikely, I know. If you want a better summing up of these... please go over to Chris or Tim's channels and see them do it properly. Anyway, there's links down below. Should we leave it there? Yes, I think we should. Thank you for watching, my loves. See you next time. Cheerio.